welcome for vocabulary to introduction to power lessons. Let's start. Okay, let's talk about the first word, linguistic. Linguistic means related to language or about language. It's an adjective. So linguistic factors, I mentioned linguistic factors. A factor is an element. For example, it's a piece of something. So linguistic factors means elements about language, elements related to language, or even more simply, things related to language. And then in this talk I talk about non-linguistic factors. Of course, non means not, it's negative. So non-linguistic factors means things not about language, things not related to language. So in the talk, I'm talking about, for example, two different things. One are emotional factors, right? Emotional elements, emotional things. And then the other is linguistic factors. So for example, study method, that's a linguistic factor. It's connected to language learning very directly. It's a linguistic factor. It's a language learning related thing. On the other hand, emotions are not directly related, is not directly connected to language learning. Means most people don't think so. So it's a non-linguistic factor. Okay, alright, great. So that's linguistic and factor. Let's talk about next, subconscious. I mentioned the word subconscious. Sometimes you heard about the unconscious. It's another synonym for that word. But subconscious means something that is under your normal thinking. So for example, if you are quite hungry, suddenly you find that you're hungry, but you're busy, you're thinking about something else. You're reading a book, for example, but kind of under your thinking, you have this idea, I'm hungry. It's not a conscious thought. It's not a strong, direct thought. It's not at the top of your brain. Sub means under or below. So it's kind of in the bottom, in the back of your brain. This sort of quite small voice or this quite small thought. So that's subconscious. So I mentioned you want to engage your subconscious. To engage means to use. To use, or it's like turn on. So to turn on your subconscious, to use your subconscious, to engage your subconscious. It means you want to use those emotions that are kind of in the back of your brain or at the bottom of your brain. You want to use that quiet voice. You want to use those strong emotions that are kind of in the back because they are very powerful. So engage your subconscious means use those, means choose to use them in a powerful way. I also talked about engaging your physiology. Physiology means related to the body. It's related to the word physical, right? Physical means body, something that's connected to your body or in your body. Not in your brain or not in your mind. It's body. And physiology is the similar idea. Physiology means what's happening in your body. It's the systems in your body. It's the parts of your body. So again, engage your physiology means use your body. Okay? Engage is turn on or use. Physiology is body. So engage your physiology. Engage your body. Use the parts of your body. Use the systems in your body. That's what that means. Okay, alright, great. Next, let's talk about the word peak. So peak, I mentioned in the main story, peak means top. Now, often we use this to describe a mountain. The very top of a mountain, we say it's the peak, the mountain peak, or the peak of the mountain, the very top part. We also use it in the phrase peak performance. Of course, performance means performing or doing something. Peak means top, so it means doing something in a top way, in the very best way. Sometimes we use this with sports. So we say he's a peak performance athlete. He's a top performing athlete. He's the very best performing athlete. So that's again peak meaning top, very top, or sometimes best. Okay, so peak meaning top. So emotional state, I talked about peak emotional state. So top or best, peak, emotional, of course, feelings, and state. State means kind of your situation or experience. So an emotional state, an emotion state is the general emotional feeling you have right now. So I might say I am in an angry emotional state. That means it's a long-term idea. It means generally or sometimes I feel angry. Now it's a very formal kind of academic or intellectual way to say I'm angry. Okay? So this is a little bit formal, a little bit kind of formal English, but an emotional state is a general emotional feeling. It has a little bit idea of a long time. So a peak emotional state, a top or best emotional state, it means feeling very good for a while, right? You say, I'm in a peak emotional state. I'm feeling very good for some time. Okay, now that's the vocabulary lessons for the introduction to power. Of course, if there are other words you did not understand, you can use the subtitle, use the translation and a dictionary. And you know, just just find the words on your dictionary and write it on a text, and you can learn more vocabulary that way. It's very difficult for me to guess exactly which words you know and which words you don't know, because every student is different. So I will cover some of the main words. The words I think quite important, but if there are other words you don't know, just use the transcribe or translate and find the meaning of the words in the dictionary. It's fine. Okay, I will see you next time for the mini story. See you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.